Days like today, I wish I had a wand. It would have helped with my intro, but I don't. So, we'll just have to make do without it. This is my TBR for the Magical Readathon, the Ordinary Wizarding Levels edition. In other words, my TBR for owls. Hello everybody, Nora back again. Well, so April is the owls. I know I've not been in the booktube community for a long period of time, so unfortunately I was not able to participate in last year's Magical Readathons. But this year I am so psyched and I'm so ready because I need to have my owls in the bag so I can participate fully in the newts come August. Now, the Magical Readathon is a readathon that is hosted by the amazing G of o.w.l.s. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or if it is that you're not following G for some weird-ass reason, because like I said, she is amazing and brilliant, I would leave her owls announcement video down in the bar below so you can just check it out. There's still enough time for you to sign up. Like I said, the owls kicks off in April and the prompts are so meticulously thought out, as well as the magical carriers, and I'm just in awe at the brilliance and the uniqueness and authenticity of the readathon itself. Now, what happened is that G gave us a list of magical carriers we could sign up for, and based on whichever magical carrier you gravitate more towards, you get to answer a particular set of prompts. And the prompts basically fit into the subject you have to pass in order for you to be able to take the newts for the career. So I went through the list, and although I did gravitate towards a couple, I ended up settling on Cursebreaker because it just looked the most fun. Other than auras, but I didn't want to be an aura, so... And then I put together my bullet journal for the owl. Now for the Cursebreaker carrier, your required owls are Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Charms, Potions, Transfiguration, and Defense Against the Dark Arts. So that's 6 subjects, and each of these subjects actually have the equivalent bookish prompts to go with it. So let me emphasize the fact that you do not need to be an Harry Potter fan in order to participate in the Magical Readathon. These prompts, although they do take inspiration from the magical wizarding world, are prompts that you can walk into other books that you love to read or want to read, different genres. It just works. Now, the prompt for Ancient Runes is retelling, and for that I am going with A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. Now, this was a book I thought I was going to be able to read this month. Unfortunately, I could not read it, and I was really happy that one of the owls prompts was retelling, because I do intend, like I said, I do intend to finish all my owls so I can take the newts in August. Now, what's A Curse So Dark and Lonely about? It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, with the main character, that is the beauty in the story, who has cerebral palsy and is from the modern world and has to be transported to this magical world where she has to save the day. And she's actually all up for it because as at when the book starts, she's quite frustrated and totally completely done with everybody always thinking that she needs to be saved. She wants to be the one saving the day this time around, and she gets the opportunity to do so in this book, and I cannot wait. I have heard so many amazing things about this book. So many of my friends love it, and I cannot wait to read it. Although I would be honest, Beauty and the Beast is not necessarily my favorite fairy tale, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that does not color my enjoyment of this book, although I doubt that. Next is Arithmancy, work written by more than one author, and for that I'm going with Slay in Your Lane, The Black Girl Bible by Yomi Adegoke and Elizabeth Owebenene. Now, this book, I'll just read the synopsis at the back of it because it's not fictional, but it's basically just celebrating the works of Black British women and also giving practical advice across different areas of Black women's lives. Now, the blurb says, Black women today are well past making waves. We are currently creating something of a tsunami. Women who look like us, grew up in similar places to us, talk like us, are shaping almost every sector of society, from education to work to dating. This inspirational, honest, and provocative book recognizes and celebrates the strides Black women have already made, while providing practical advice for those who want to do the same and forge a better visible future. Illustrated with stories from best friends Elizabeth Uwe-Benene and Yomi Adekoke's own lives, and using interviews with dozens of the most successful Black women in Britain, including BAFTA award-winning director Amal Sante, British Vogue publisher Vanessa Kingori, and Olympic gold medalist Dennis Lewis. Slay in Your Lane is essentially reading for a generation of Black women inspired to find success in every area of their lives. Now, there's a quote from L that says, "A Bible that celebrates the role of powerful Black British women and examines how they climbed the ladder and how you can too." I've wanted to read this. I've had this on my shelf for like forever, since October last year, and I'm very excited that I get the chance to read it for O.w.l.s. Next is Charms, and the prompt says read an adult work, and for that I am going with Mike Chen's Here and Now and Then. Now, this is a sci-fi book all about a Secret Service agent who travels from the future to the past in order to get some work done. Unfortunately, when it's time for him to return back home, his rescue team does not arrive, and so he has to build a new life for himself in the past. And then 18 years later, his rescue team shows up, except for the fact that to them he's only been gone for a couple of weeks, and to make matters even worse, he has another family in the future, one he has no memory of anymore. And it just sounds like it's going to be an amazing read, and I cannot wait to read it. Next is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and the prompt says read Doctor, read a book that starts with an R, and for that I am going with Rock Your Plot, a simple system to plotting your novel by Kathy Yardley. Now, I have not done any writing in a while. I've been more of on a creative slump for the last 2 years, but I do have ideas and I'm quite ready to get back to writing again. And this book basically just helps you with breaking things down and plotting your novel. I am more of a fly by the seat of our pants type writer. I like stories surprising me. So I like stories surprising me. I like the story to be the one to tell itself, and then I figure at the end of the book that, oh, so this is what I'm writing. So I rarely ever plot, but I do know that there are some strengths in plotting your novel, and the book does help with the problem I have, which is usually when I get to the middle of the book. I know how the book wants to start, and I know the possible ending it might have, but the middle is always like there is drudgery. And I do know that this just helps you with keeping the pace and momentum going in your novel, in the novel you are writing from the beginning to the end. And I do hope I'm able to pick up some tricks and some tips that would help me with writing my novel. Next up is Potions, and the prompt says next ingredient sequel, and for that I am going with Godsgrave by J. Christoph. Now, I am currently reading Nevernight. I'm about halfway through. I think that book is fantastic, and I know that with the way J. Christoph is writing it, by the time I'm done with Nevernight, I want to jump straight into Godsgrave, which is the reason why I am so thankful that reading a sequel is one of my prompts for the O.w.l.s. Now, I do not know what Godsgrave is about. Like I said, I'm still halfway through Nevernight, but I know we're still going to be continuing with the story of Mia Cover and her thirst and quest for vengeance, which makes me very happy, and that Mr. Kindly, the snacky, sarcastic cat of Shadows, will still make an appearance, and I cannot wait to just continue the story. And then finally we have Transfiguration, read a book with a red cover or with sprayed edges, and for that I am going with The Epic Crush of Genie by FCE. Now, this is primarily red, like you can tell from the front and the back. It's red and black, but mostly red. So this book is basically a teenage retelling of a sort of the Legend of the Monkey King. Now, the Legend of the Monkey King is Chinese mythology all about the Monkey King who was banished from the heavens and, has to undergo certain trials and go on this journey in order to ascend, and he has companions with him to help him along the way. And apparently Genie in the book is one of his companions, and I just love the fact that you can see the blob here just says a demon invasion is no excuse for bad grades, and at the back it says divine intervention never looks so good. And I'm just looking forward to reading it and to finding out which one of the companions from the original mythology Genie is meant to be. So yeah, that is my O.w.l.s TBR. Let me know if you're going to be participating in the owls. Let me know if any of the books I listed are books you intend to read. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself,